Oh hi, thanks for watching my video. So this time we're going to be comparing The Sims 3 Island Paradise with The Sims 4 Island Living. If this is my first comparison video that you're watching, then go ahead and check out my base game comparison, which is linked in the top now. Or check out my Sims 3 Generations versus Sims 4 Parenthood comparison, which is linked in the white box above now. So in this video, we're going to go through the main gameplay aspects and touching on the Create a Sim and Build a Buy items you get with each pack, so that we can determine definitively which game did it better. Starting with Create a Sim. So the Create a Sim items in The Sims 3 is pretty beach casual. They definitely have some nice pieces in there. There's also a few pieces of scuba diving gear, so you know straight away this is going to be a big part of the game. There are a few new traits as well, Sailor and Loves to Swim, and there's also 4 new lifetime wishes: Deep Sea Diver, Resort Empire, Seaside Saviour and Grand Explorer. The Sims 4 Create a Sim items are also quite heavily beach themed. I would say more than in The Sims 3. A lot of these items would look pretty out of place on a sim that doesn't live on a beach. There are also 2 new traits, Child of the Ocean and Child of the Islands, plus 1 new aspiration of beach life. Moving swiftly on to Build and Buy, so like in both games, you get a nice enough selection of beach-themed decor and furnishings in The Sims 3, and also, as you would expect, we have the introduction of boats. Your Sims can indulge in a selection of boats to explore the seas, ranging from small boats to large boat houses. That's right, boat houses are a thing. No longer do your Sims have to stick to the land. They can live in a houseboat and change their scenery whenever they like by going on a cruise. Or you can build a house on water with the stilted foundation. A few noteworthy objects in this pack are the new water slides for endless slippery fun. We also get buffet tables, which certainly helps when you're extra hungry, and the all-in-one outhouse, which is classy as fuck, and lots more. In The Sims 4, again, you have your selection of beach-themed build and buy items, and like The Sims 3, you can also build a house over the water using the stilted foundation type. You can also again buy a range of boats available to explore the seas. So we have houses, we have boats, but we don't have boat houses. Yeah, they got lost somewhere in the boardroom and didn't make their way to The Sims 4. You do get a few cool items though: beach towels for sunbathing, fish traps so you can catch your dinner direct from the sea, bonfires are also a thing, float lounges, and loads more stuff. You also get new lot traits, which is another thing introduced in The Sims 4. You can assign your lot as an oceanic paradise, island spirits, and volcanic activity. Okay, so we sped through that stuff, but that's only because I really want to focus on gameplay, because that's the most important thing. In The Sims 3 Island Paradise, you get the brand new world of Isla Paradiso, a tropical getaway that your Sims can move to and live the high life. One of the biggest additions to the game, as you can probably guess, is the ability to explore the underwater areas and sail the seas in the new range of boats. Build or buy your Sim a boat and they can literally go and explore the various corners of the seas and discover the several uncharted islands scattered around the world. You can easily spend hours exploring the seas to find these islands, and when found, you can claim them as yours and own them. But if you don't want to spend your time searching, there is also a new lifetime reward that comes with this, which is basically a map that shows you where all of the uncharted islands are, although it does come at a cost of 25,000 points. Of course, as I mentioned, it's not all about what lies above the sea's surface. Your Sims can now gain and develop a skill in scuba diving, which can be performed when your Sim is around an underwater lot. Before learning to scuba dive, your Sim will be able to develop the new snorkeling skill, which when performed gives you a little teaser of what it looks like under the water. The main feature here though is scuba diving, and the snorkeling skill, let's be honest, it's just child's play. If your Sim is in a diving spot and decide to go scuba diving, you can actually join them and see what the underwater has to offer. I don't know whether it's just because it's a completely different type of setting that hasn't been done before in The Sims, but this was 100% my highlight of this game. The visuals are pleasing and it's not just set dressing. Not only can you see what's going on, but there are actual things to do down there as well. For one thing, they have explorable caves. Well, rabbit hole caves, but nevertheless, your sim can explore and you'll get various pop-ups telling you how they're doing, and they'll probably come back with a few collectibles too. You can find several collectibles under the sea, message in a bottle, seashells, fish, and maybe even some hidden treasure. If you want, you can make diving your career by registering with the Ministry of Labour and checking for diving work. That way your sim will get paid to explore the underwater and find collectibles. Be careful when under the water though, because your sim can die from drowning if they run out of oxygen. Thankfully, your sim will tell you if they're running low on oxygen. It's just up to you to do something about it. Otherwise, you'll meet the fish version of the Grim Reaper. Speaking of death, it doesn't stop at drowning. You can also die of a shark attack if you linger around sharks for too long. And if your sim is a mermaid, there is a risk of death of dehydration. Oh, didn't I mention? There's a new life stage with this pack. Mermaids. So you might bump into a mermaid while exploring the deep sea depths, or you might find their mermaid island when exploring the uncharted areas. Unfortunately, if you want to become a mermaid, you have to jump through a couple of hoops. You can't just create one in Create a Sim. In order to become a mermaid, your sim must ingest mermaidic kelp. There are a couple of ways to get your hands on this sweet kelp though. You can befriend a mermaid and ask them to give you some, or you can purchase some mermaidic kelp from the Lifetime Rewards store. It does also come at a hefty price of 25,000 simoleons. But once you are a mermaid, you can explore the sea depths without worrying about drowning. You do have slightly different needs to take care of though. Instead of hygiene, your mermaid will have hydration need, and if this gets too low, your mermaid sim might die of dehydration. And also with hunger, normal food doesn't really hit the spot as much for mermaids. Give them some fish and they'll be happy. Mermaids are very easy to spot on land because whilst their tails go away, they do still have colourful scaly legs. So you don't even have to ask if someone is a mermaid, you can just tell by looking at their legs. Mermaids, along with all sims, can summon other mermaids they've met using the conch shell. But here's the funny bit. Evil or mean-spirited mermaids can use the shell to summon a shark attack, and you can get the shark to attack other divers. Cheeky. And mermaids are part of the sea, so they won't get attacked by sharks or the kraken. They could get a nasty surprise from the cave monster though. So that's mermaids, but that isn't the only new life stage you get, although it is the only new playable one. There is the addition of the thing I mentioned just a second ago, the kraken. A scary looking octopus kind of thing that lurks in the sea and pops up spontaneously to cause trouble. Yeah, you don't want to bump into this guy. There is a new lifetime reward though called Friend of the Kraken, which allows your sims to avoid the havoc it can cause, but it also gives you the power to call upon the Kraken to throw a tantrum on any boat of your choice. Well, that's enough talk about what's below the sea. Let's talk about what's going on up on land. So as you would imagine, what with it being an island, that we have beaches, a place to unwind and relax on the sea lounges. You can build on beach lots so you can customise what the local beach looks like, or you can build a beachside resort, or even just a residential home for your sim. In terms of making those sweet, sweet simoleons, there's a few choices. Firstly, there's the new lifeguard career. See a sim drowning, give them a floaty, tell them to man up, that kind of thing. Another big feature which is missed by many today is the resort system. So your sim can basically build, customise and run their own resort. Your resort can be as classy or seedy as you like. The overall success will depend on reviews from your customers. A good way to ensure a good quality stay is to hire maintenance workers to keep the place clean and tidy. You can have water slides, buffets, poolside bars, whatever it takes to get those 5-star ratings. Goes without saying, but the higher the star rating, the more money you'll make. And one more notable mention, new woohoo spots. We can now get freaky in an underwater cave, an all-in-one bathroom and the resort tower. So that's about all I have to say about The Sims 3 Island Paradise. Time to move on to The Sims 4 Island Living. So, in The Sims 4 Island Living, you get the beautiful new world of Sulani, a tropical paradise full of palm trees, beaches, and open water. Similar to The Sims 3, your Sims can build lots on beaches and have their homes partially in water. But that's not all you can do at beaches. There are a few new beach activities like building sandcastles, searching for seashells, and lounging in the sun. Your Sims can swim in the sea, and they can also use boats to get around. Again, like in The Sims 3, there are a selection of boats that can be used to explore the surface of the sea. I say surface of the sea intentionally because guess what? There's no underwater exploring anymore. Yep, probably the biggest disappointment with this pack. So there is snorkeling and a diving skill in the game, but the difference is when your Sim goes down into a diving spot, you won't be able to go with them. You just have to sit and wait like a chump while they disappear. That's pretty much all there is to it when it comes to exploring the underwater areas. But there are a few more things to do above the water level. For example, you might befriend a dolphin whilst having a little swim, or you might even befriend something else. The new life state of mermaids makes a return with this pack. Only this time you can create them in Create a Sim if you want. If you start off as a normal Sim, they can still become a mermaid by ingesting mermaidic kelp, which similarly to The Sims 3, can be purchased in the Aspiration Rewards store or can be obtained by befriending a mermaid. Mermaids are a little more difficult to spot in this game though, as they no longer have scales on their legs indicating what they are. So your Sim will just have to go around meeting Sims and asking if they're a mermaid, and in most cases they will always say no unless you have a good relationship with them and they trust you enough to spill the beans. So as you can imagine, becoming a mermaid this way is quite a long process, unless you know exactly who to target. Here's a clue. It's this one. Again, when playing as a mermaid, there are some slight differences when it comes to needs. The main one being that the hygiene is replaced with the hydration like it is in The Sims 3. And mermaids also have special powers, one being the Siren's Lullaby, a power that directly impacts the mood of other Sims. They can use this to make Sims nearby feel tense, flirty, inspired, or sad. They can also give other Sims the mermaid's kiss, which temporarily allows normal Sims to go diving for longer without needing to come up for air. Mermaids can also call rare fish nearby for fishing, and they can call for dolphins, just because. And even though mermaids have powers, it doesn't mean that they have to use them for good. There are two more powers that are a little bit more on the sinister side, and therefore not available to mermaids with a good trait. There's the Siren's Call, which will lure Sims to them in the ocean, and the mermaid will then drag the Sim down underwater. This can cause the normal Sim to drown if done enough times. And also there's the Summon Ocean Threat power, which is where the mermaid will sing a little song and then a black mass will appear in the water and it will drag the normal Sims down into the water, which can again cause drowning if repeated enough times. Okay, that's enough of mermaids, back to normal Sims. So your Sims can use canoes to get around, a handy method of transport, especially if you have one of those new career paths on the go. There are 3 new part-time jobs: diver, lifeguard and fisherman. The fishing aspect comes in pretty handy, especially if your Sim is living off the grid. You can set fish traps around the water, leave it for a minute and get your fish. There's also a new full-time career of conservationist, which involves performing several tasks to clean up the island. When you start playing Island Living, there is a part of Sulani that is needing some TLC. There's litter on beaches, weird green stuff in the sea and puddles of waste near the volcanoes. And as a result of this, the plants and trees are slightly off colour. If your Sim engages in cleaning up Sulani through the career itself or just from completing tasks, then the island will slowly but surely improve. You don't have to be a conservationist to clean up the island, but you do need to be in order to perform certain tasks like analysing samples of waste. You'll also get pop-ups letting you know how you're doing and that the island is getting better thanks to your hard work. This was actually a really enjoyable part of the expansion for me. It's a bit repetitive at times, but it does take a while to do and you can actually see the changes you make to the island, so it's quite rewarding as well. And if your Sim doesn't want to engage in the commitment involved in getting a full-time or part-time job, they can instead earn some petty cash on the side by performing odd jobs around the neighbourhood. There will be a mixture of tasks that may take a while and will have a date and time that they're due by. Or they might be immediate tasks like go and pick up my food order and deliver it to me. Your Sims will get a star rating based on their performance, a bit like Uber or Uber Eats. There's also the opportunity to engage in local culture. Your sim can attend a pit barbecue event and get to know the locals. There does seem to be an emphasis put on tradition and folklore, but there isn't really much direction in this. It's pretty much up to you as the player to speak with the locals and engage with the ancestors from the island. Seems to me like more could have been done with this part of the game, but who knows, maybe they ran out of time. And as well as all this, there are a few more notable additions to the game. It's not just mermaids and dolphins you get, you also get turtles, seagulls, and the return of sharks. There's also volcanic activity going on in the islands. It's a pretty big volcano located nearby one of the off-the-grid houses. If your sim lives there, you better hope it doesn't erupt. Speaking of hot things, as with the nature of beaches, pretty hot outside, so make sure your sims are sun-creamed up, otherwise they might end up with sunburn. And finally, there are a couple more new collectibles added with this pack, including seashells, tropical fish, buried treasure, and some lovely pictures of under the sea that your sims can take while scuba diving. Really, Sims 4? Really? You taking the piss out of me? You taking me for a ride, you sarky? So there we go, Sims 3 Island Paradise versus Sims 4 Island Living, but who comes out on top? In theory, I honestly think The Sims 3 would have won this one, mainly because of the ability to go under the water and explore the pretty visuals, collectibles and openness. But one fundamental flaw with this pack, which I know a lot of players found, is that after half an hour of playing, the game becomes very laggy, to the point where it's virtually unplayable. The screen freezes and it takes an hour to play through 20 minutes worth of gameplay. If you didn't experience this lag, then lucky you, and you probably would put The Sims 3 on top here, but because of this issue, I have to give it to The Sims 4. The world of Sulani is prettier in my opinion, even if it's not an open world. The mermaids are more customizable, and the conservation career was really enjoyable for me. So Island Paradise versus Island Living? I'm going with Island Living. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, and also let me know if there's anything here I missed. I'm sure there'll be some things. I hope you enjoyed this video and look out for the next episode in the series, which will be Sims 3 and Sims